as haiku or lines to a play. But if you put music to it, you can do it. You can do it. So
it's like a reference point, or
I think it's just, well,
I mean, something
it
that
just gives you something to grab onto.
Yeah, connect
You know, I
with.
mean, you have that melody, you just grab onto it, like I use the McDonald's thing, you know. And you hear during the holidays, whether it be a sacred Christmas carol or whether it be a secular one, like sacred would be like, you know, Silent Night, Holy Night, or Joy to the World, or Oh Come All You Faithful. Secular would be like Here Comes Santa Claus, and Jingle Bells, and Let It Snow, that kind of thing. Well, what happens in July if we're suddenly listening to Silent Night? It seems weird. But there's something about right after Thanksgiving, as we hear the bells ringing and we start to hear these Christmas songs, what's it do to you? Put you in that holiday spirit, right? Music has the power to do that. Next time you go to a movie, listen to the music. Listen to the music. Whatever kind of movies you like. I've always liked high action adventure. As a kid, I was into the Superman stuff. Then as I grew older, I got my son by the time he was growing up. He was a little guy when all the Indiana Jones movies came out. The Star Wars, Back to the Future, all those flicks, okay? Listen to how important the music is. Take the music out of those and the films aren't nearly as great. To this day, when I hear that Superman theme, get a little bit of a chill. When the fourth Indiana Jones movie came out, my son's now 24. We went to the midnight showing at Brendan. And I'll never forget this. Here, this 24-year-old kid, good boy, works hard. We're all waiting for video number 4, right?
Yeah.
To see if old Indy still has it in himself, whether you liked him or not. And when that theme came on, he looked at me, and here's this 24-year-old kid looking at his dad, and we both had tears in our eyes. Why? The music meant something. Emotionally. Emotionally. That's what it can do to you. And when I hear the Superman theme, or even to this day, the early Batman themes with Michael Keaton, and you hear the Dark Knight, you hear those. Think of the Dark Knight without that music. You just got another guy bashing stuff in, dressed up like a monkey or a bat. You know, it's the music, man, that really holds it all together. It's the music that really holds it together.
Now, socially, say from when you were a kid to now, has that affected your social life? The music did?
Of course it does. I mean, like I said, socially, whether I go to a formal concert at the Gallo Center, I'm socially interacting with people. Whether I'm having people over for a nice dinner in my home, whether I am having people over for a backyard barbecue, whether my son and daughter's friends and buddies are over and they're wanting to play their music, it all works together. So you know, I can't imagine, when you say socially, no, I cannot imagine having a function of any kind without music. Now, I wasn't going to get into this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't know if you read in the paper about the young man that was killed in Iraq 2 weeks ago, Daniel Hyde.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't do this. He was like one of my sons. Very close to that boy. Had a full military burial last Friday. And I cannot imagine that service, which there were over 1,000 people there for Daniel. When that trumpeter played taps, that really hit everybody. That really hit everybody. The power of music.
Yeah, good.
Absolute power. When we take a young man who gave his life for this country, who had everything to live for, who had graduated 23rd out of a class of 900 men from West Point, and taken at the age of 24, and when they played taps, we lost him, man. So, Daniel, because you're a fun guy, what would happen if we would have played Twist and Shout? It wouldn't have worked. It would have been wrong.
Yeah, it would have been wrong. Mostly wrong.
Just as it would have been wrong to play taps at a wedding. Or maybe some guys' weddings. Yeah, here's the final, huh? Music has the power to make us laugh. I don't think wedding receptions would be nearly as much fun without the band playing. The first dance, my daughter was married last summer. She's in the Air Force and she was home and her fiance came home. We had a garden wedding for them. And we had a dance afterwards. And so she wanted me to pick the song for the father-daughter dance. I didn't even have to think about it. In My Daughter's Eyes. You know that song?
Yeah.
In My Daughter's Eyes? Well, what I found out was that everybody standing around us, they were all crying. Because Michelle and I were having this dance together, In My Daughter's Eyes. Wow. You see, that's the power of music. Does classical music have the same power? You bet it does. After 9/11, Mozart's Requiem Mass was played. When the wall came down in Berlin, the fall of communism, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony was played. It would not have worked to play In My Daughter's Eyes when the Berlin Wall came down. It would not have worked to play Taps. Music has a function, and it can set these feelings for us. Socially, they function. Look at how the world united at the fall of the Berlin Wall. Look how we united at 9/11. Think of the music that was played for that. I'm Proud to Be an American. That was played at Daniel's memorial service on Saturday at First Baptist. We had 2,000 people there for that. And I tell you, when they played that, and I'm proud to be an American, if you didn't have tears in your eyes, you were a rock. There was something wrong with you emotionally. So, music, I think, is probably the most powerful non-physical element that we have. When I say non-physical, I mean like in terms of, you know, a rock can smash things, a bomb can blow up things. You know, music can actually move you.
All right. Now, what do you think would be in your own mind, the greatest benefit of music in period, in anybody's life?
I can't answer that, because music is too vast. I don't think I can sit here and say, oh, the greatest benefit of music is that it will heal such and such.
Well, what's been the greatest benefit for yourself, then?
I've been fortunate enough to do my hobby and make a living at it.
All right.
A lot of people have to go to work and punch in a clock. I come to college and I get to sit and talk to guys like you. I get to come teach a class about 4 young men from Liverpool that would change the musical world in 1964. I get to walk into a room and tell people how important Johann Sebastian Bach was between the years of 1685 and 1750 and the impact that Beethoven had on the world, and Mozart and Brahms and Chopin and Liszt. You know, that's the impact it's had on me. It's just so wide and varied. When I danced with my daughter at her wedding, when I listened to Taps at Daniel's burial on Friday, when I play the pipe organ for my best friend's daughter coming down the aisle, when I get to go to a concert with my wife, and knowing that later on we're going to go have a nice dinner and a good glass of wine, and I get to hear a beautiful rendition of Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. That's the impact. When I'm just sitting in my backyard with a group of friends and we're gathered around the table and we're having a nice outdoor evening meal in the summertime, and in the background I've got a little classical guitar playing, and it just sets the mood. That's the impact it has. So for me, music is so multifaceted. It just does so many things to me. And it does it to people too. A lot of them just don't realize it as much as I do, because it's what I do. I can't think of doing anything else. Do I have other loves? Oh yeah. As a kid and growing up, I mean, I said, loved to play sports. We raised horses for show. We rode a lot of horseback riding. Lived out in the country. Had a great time doing all that. Swam in the dirty canals in Modesto growing up. They were clean then. Yeah, wouldn't do it now, man. Talk about your health class, catch all kinds of bugs, you know.
Or get arrested now.
Get arrested, yeah. So,
talking to it, talking